our first one is name the points on plane S. Can anybody tell me the points on plane S? So be careful with how this looks. Notice that plane S is one straight up and down, and then the white plane here is cutting directly through it. Okay, can anybody tell me those? Yep, Jamal. Okay, Q, F, K. That's 100% correct. And notice D is not on that plane. Okay, name two lines. Can anybody name two lines for me? Yep, Nick.
Line A and line B.
Line A and line B. If you had something with 2 points, that works as well. You could have had line KF with the line on top with the 2 arrows. You could have had line FQ with the line on top with 2 arrows, or you could just name it by that letter on the side. Name the plane that contains point D. Which plane contains point D? Yeah, Chandler? Plane P, that's correct. Okay, name 3 collinear points. What does it mean to be collinear? Yep, Nick?
On the same line.
On the same line? Do you want to tell me the 3 points?
F, Q, W.
F, Q, W. Okay, and then decide whether the following statement is true or false. K, F, and D are coplanar. Are those 3 points on the same plane? No, they are not. So that is false. We have, today is 1.4, parallel and intersecting lines and planes, and then our objective is to be able to understand parallel lines and planes and intersecting lines and planes. So our first one up is intersecting lines, 2 or more lines that meet at a point or points. So my little example of intersecting lines is going to be like this. And you see that it meets at a point. You also have parallel lines, coplanar points that do not intersect. Let's just say coplanar lines. Let's change that one. Lines that do not intersect. So they lie in the same plane. They never cross. And then skew lines, I'm going to have a diagram for that in 1 second. Those are lines that do not intersect and do not lie on the same plane. When we talk about skew lines, of this whole group, this is probably the only one you guys have not talked about before in another math class. Does that sound right? Have you guys ever learned about skew lines in another math class? You have?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so maybe this won't be that new of a topic. Last year, my students did not have that. So lines that do not intersect and do not lie on the same plane. So remember, when we have 3 points that are non-collinear, we can form a plane out of them, right? So if we were looking for a line that is skew to AB, so a line that is skewed to AB can be one that is not going to be parallel to it. So lines that are parallel to it cannot be that. So those would be HE, that cannot be skewed to it. GF cannot be skewed to it because it's also parallel. DC is also parallel, so it cannot be any of those. And they're not in the same plane. So everything in that back corner also can't count because it is on the same plane. So everything on the ABCD square is on the same plane. So what would be the 2 lines we have that are skewed to this line? So remember, they can't lie in the same plane. And they cannot intersect. Ooh, I drew over this. Give me 1 second. Let's go back.
Is that a G?
It's a G. Where's the G? Is that what you said?
It's like behind.
It's right here. Yeah, Chandler? Can you say it one more time? A and C, is that what you said? So technically we don't have any line drawn there right now because that would be the diagonal of that, but you're on the right track. So ones that are not in the same plane, did you say the next one? So we have H and that's our G down there. Sorry, it's just a crummy G. So they do not intersect and they're not in the same plane. So H to G and F and E. So that would be the equivalent of the back top of my classroom wall, okay? So right where it meets the ceilings, and these right here. They do not intersect and they're not parallel with it, right? So this is never going to hit that top crease of that wall. Does that kind of okay to visualize? Maybe? So that top crease on my back wall is never going to be hit by this over here. It's not even in the same plane. Okay. Postulate number 1, if two lines intersect, then they intersect at a point. So if we have two lines and they intersect, line 1. Can you guys see that purple okay? No? Okay, I'll switch it. Ooh, let's try again. So we have two lines, and when they hit at just one point. We also have, if two planes intersect, then they intersect at a line. I am going to attempt to draw this, but no, we saw it on the last slide. So we're going to try this right here.
So this supposed to go on the diagram part?
This should go on the part with, yeah, the diagram. Oh, the one you guys already have drawn. I don't have to draw it. That's excellent. But the other picture, yes, it should have gone in there where the two lines intersect. I didn't realize I gave it to you already. And you see that intersects at just that line. But hopefully you can see that a little easier. In your diagram, that is line D. So if two planes intersect, they intersect at a line, and that line will be line D in our diagram. So I'm going to write that over here, line D, so you see it. So which one is line UV? Right, that's our top line. So which one did you say? OS is parallel, that's correct. Can anybody tell me another one? So if we have OS, what's our other one? Oh. I can see the confusion there. Okay, it's U what? P. Yep. Sorry, that's written a little close. And UP. Okay, now try to name a line that's parallel to WX. So the line parallel to that would be NL. Nice job. Named it. It's the same line, but you could have named it LN as well. Either of those is acceptable. Just has to be 2 points on that line. Doesn't matter which order you write those 2 points. So either one of those works. Okay. What's the intersection of plane S and plane R? So where does plane S and plane R meet? What is K? Yep, line K. So make sure when you write that out, you have to write the word line. Okay. And then we have planes R and T. So this is plane R, and this is plane T. Where do they intersect? So R is this one up here, and T is this one down here. Yep, Kayla? So they both intersect S. Austin? I. So does I ever hit plane R? So do these ever intersect? Mm-mm, they don't appear to intersect. So we write that. They do not appear to intersect. If two things lie next to each other and they never intersect, what do we call those? If you have two lines that lie next to each other and they never intersect, what do we call those lines? They're parallel, right? So we call these parallel planes because they're never going to hit each other. And then we have planes T and planes S. So S again is that shaded one, and plane T, you guys told me this one a second ago. So where does it intersect, Jamal? Line I. Okay, do you guys have questions on this portion? We're going to name the intersection of line PS and line QR. Where do they intersect? So where does PS intersect QR? Yep, that's exactly right. It intersects at R. So notice that you don't have a little dot there, but they wrote it in the same vicinity. So you know that that's where it's intersecting. And then we have line TV and line QU. So we have TV and QU. Where do they intersect? Let's go over here, Chandler. U. Okay, and last but not least, we have PS and UV. Where do they intersect? They don't. Yeah, don't appear to intersect. And so what would we call those? Exactly right. Parallel lines. Don't. Okay.